Welcome back to Cinderella Stories. New year, well, pretty much the same us, except for the fact that we're coming off the holiday break, and Ashley, she is actually still on holidays right now. I can't blame a girl. Listen, unfortunately, I'll have to leave her for about 6 weeks when I go to the Olympics. So I'm like, you know what? Take the time that you need now when you got to hold down the fort pretty much more or less solo. So I am filling in, well, not filling in, I'm just stepping in as a solo host today. And I can't wait to get into it because with that said, with the Olympics around the corner, we're going to get into a storyline that I have been following pretty much since September. And so we'll get to that in just a minute. But if you haven't noticed, maybe something a little bit different. Your girl had a crash out and she got bangs. The holidays stressed me out so bad that I need to get bangs before 2025 was over. And when I say that, I mean, like, honestly, if I'm being real with myself, I was already looking for an excuse to get bangs all year. Like, even in our October, like, I guess like first ever unofficial official live show that we had at Soho House, I was like placing a bet with Ashley being like, okay, but the loser has to cut bangs. And so like secretly I've been looking for reasons to get bangs. And I think that like is just something that I haven't done. I really haven't had them since like grade 2. And I feel the need now to like, you know, being based in Toronto, especially like move to Queen West and like, you know, get a studio apartment above a coffee shop or something like that. Like bangs are my new personality. Okay. This is a problem. Okay. But yeah, no, I've been having so much fun. And, you know, I think about the holidays and I will be honest with you, like being so for real, for me, I think I've just gone to the age, and I think a number of people can relate to this, where like, I think the holidays are more stressful than they are fun. And I think there's like a number of reasons that get into that, obviously, like with the family stuff and like, you know, trying to catch up with everybody at the same time. And like, it just gets overwhelming with social interactions, I think, at least for myself. And like, take it from me, I'm an extrovert. If you haven't I have a podcast, I'm yapping all the time. But like, if I feel overwhelmed, oh my gosh, I could only imagine what the introverts feel like, okay? But that said, like, you know, I did have my very own New Year's Eve party because I guess like none of my friends wanted to host a party this year. And I don't even love hosting as much as I get older. Like, it's just too much work, like too much cleanup, too much setup, too much this, too much that. But I will say I had a board on like, say, okay, so reference. I have a chalkboard wall in my condo, right? I painted it myself. It's been there for years, actually. And I just like stopped using it one day for some reason. And so I was like, you know what? When I'm hosting this New Year's Eve party, this would be a fun way to like bring it back. Like, let's bring back the chalkboard wall and use it and get my friends to use it. So I was like, how can we do that? So I wrote a prompt on the wall that said basically, what are you manifesting for 2026? And I had them write their name and their goals basically on the wall. And I wanted to set the tone. So I wrote a couple goals. I was like, you know, take advantage of career opportunities. What else did I say? I think I said, just like continue to travel and get snatched, right? Now, all the girlies in the room, we all know what that means, okay? The girls, the gays, the days. We all know what get snatched means, okay? I don't gotta explain it. One of my friends, now he does not fit into any of the categories of the girls, the gays, or the days. He saw my chalkboard wall and he was like, Savannah, you want to get kidnapped? And I was like, no, wait, what do you get snatched? You want to get snatched? I was like, you know what? Honestly, like that works too. Maybe a girl wants to get snatched. I'll do it. Fine. Yeah, actually, that sounds great. So that was kind of like a fun prompt that definitely was a conversation starter across the party. So if you guys have a chalkboard wall, I highly recommend you use it for your friends. And if you don't have a chalkboard wall, highly recommend that you paint one. And I rent, so I don't really care that I paint my walls all the time. Anyway, that said, let's get into some stories. I mean, I missed you guys. I feel like we haven't been back in the studio in a while. I think the last episode was like mid-December. So we are back, baby. And I got a little bit of a plot twist towards the end of the show that we will also, I don't know, we'll get there when we get there. But quick update from the women's basketball front. As we record this is Monday, January 5th. Nothing new with the WNBA CBA. Now, keep in mind that their deadline comes January 9th. So that's pretty close. That's like, what, 4 days away for the collective bargaining agreement. And from all the reports that I've been reading and keeping up with it over the holidays, these like ships are sailing in two different directions and they're not getting any closer. So really no update on that. I think we're still looking at a lockout potentially or a strike. Unrivaled. It tips off today, baby. So I cannot wait to get into some Unrivaled content. I be seeing the scrimmages. I be seeing our girl Aaliyah Edwards just completely dominating already. Keep in mind, I believe she won the one-on-one competition that Unrivaled had last season. And so she had like a 30-point scrimmage. And dude, she's just like rocking it right now. She's crushing that league. If she makes like Unrivaled like her staple, like her off-season staple, 10-10. Like, love that for her. She's amazing. Okay, but let's get into what is around the corner. Now, it is, by the time this episode gets released, less than a month away. I will be flying out February 2nd to go to Italy. I'll be based in Cortina to cover the Winter Olympics. And the games will be going on from the 6th to the 22nd. So it's going to be, I don't know, for me personally, like, I'm just absolutely thrilled to get the opportunity to do this. This has been literally a bucket list item for myself, like a once in a lifetime type of opportunity. I was on the phone with a colleague of mine, Tim Reynolds. He's an associate press writer. He writes a lot for the NBA and a little bit for hockey and a little bit of everything, but he also covers sled sports. And for him, he was giving me the whole rundown of how the Olympics work and, what to expect in the Winter Olympics. And he said that this will be his 13th in a lifetime opportunity. And so I was like, just excited to hear that for him. But like, also he's like, but it doesn't get old. It's nothing like you will ever experience in your life. Like, it's beyond thrilling. So I'm just absolutely pumped. Now for me, like, what will I be doing? Like, okay, so a lot of people know me from like Raptors sideline and stuff like that, but what is this new gig with CBC and the Olympics gonna look like for me? Well, it's a great question. I'll be a host. That's what my title is on paper technically, but really a switchblade. So I'll be based in Cortina and just covering all the sports out of Cortina basically. And I'll be doing it for broadcast, social, and digital. And that means like working also with some brands as well. So I've had to really learn a ton because when you spend your entire 20s covering one sport, for me, obviously that's been basketball and like also former player, basketball player, you really got to expand and like learn new things. And I've been so excited because like what an opportunity to have a reason to learn like new sports altogether. So I have been really focusing on the sled sports because that's where all of them are basically out of in Cortina. That said, that includes, if you guys can name, by the way, any sled sports, I would be very impressed, like off the top of your head. Just go, rip it right now. Audience question. Let's hear it. Okay, so sled sports include luge, bobsled, skeleton. Those are the main ones. And there's a lot of key players to watch out for here. And so, yeah, anyways. So backstory a little bit on this gig, just to give a bit more context of, I guess, how Sav got here. And I also feel like on Cinderella Stories, I don't really share too much about my personal life. So I feel like, and our editor, by the way, Evan Paniker, he was like, Sav, we want to know more about you. And I was like, do you really? I really keep my personal life pretty private. I'm just that's the type of person I am. But backstory a little bit on this. So I actually had the privilege of working the Pyeongchang Olympics back in 2018 for CBC, but I was behind the scenes as a ticker operator, which is really a fancy way of saying like I was doing graphics that had to be approved and then boom, put on air. And I had to spell out a bunch of Russian names, which were so crazy. And you had to double check to make sure you're spelling everything correctly because it's like some of these names are like multiple characters long. Let me tell you that. And so I really had like a connection to the Winter Olympic Games in particular, because that's where I kind of got my industry start. I then kind of shifted gears and focused predominantly on MLSE work, which Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, for those who don't know, who is a company that kind of owns the Raptors, the Leafs, TFC, the Argos. And I left the sports side of CBC to go focus on that. So with the industry being super freaking small, it's really cool to like have a full circle moment. And once again, Olympics has been on my bucket list as a broadcaster forever. And so I'm pumped. But I was getting into the weeds last night. So I got to share this because this is actually insane. I feel like a lot of people don't know what it takes to qualify, especially in the sled sports, for the Olympic Games. Like, you just think that, oh, somebody did as well, and they must qualify for the Olympics because they finished first place. That's not how it actually technically works. You would think it works like that, but it doesn't. So basically, a quick breakdown of how qualification specifically for sled sports in the Olympics work. It is the IBSF. Okay, this is like the governing body that controls like bobsled and skeleton and all that stuff. They determine the amount of allocated spots per country. So, you know, countries could have multiple athletes competing in the same sport, obviously. But basically, like, if, you know, for example, Germany's very dominant. If you have Germany that's like, you know, they have the World Cup winner, they have their second athlete that maybe finished top 5, maybe it's like a 4th place finish, and their third athlete, you know, that they have also competing in the same sport, in the same gender, finish like maybe like 10th, they would be allocated or have the highest chance of being allocated 3 spots. And that's the max, by the way. A country can only be allocated 3 spots. And that's only one country, I believe. 1 or 2. I believe it's 1 country. 2 countries will be allocated 2 spots, if I'm not mistaken. And the rest of the countries will be allocated only 1 spot. And that doesn't mean that like that athlete is for sure going. Then it falls back onto the country to then choose where that 1 spot goes. Now, I'm hearing politics, I'm hearing drama, because what if you had a great performance and maybe even had like a really good second half, like swing in a year or something like that, like outperforming one good ride, one good ride after another. And then your country picks somebody that maybe has just more Olympic experience than you, but maybe hasn't had the best year. Like, there's cases like that. Like, not saying this is specifically Canadian related, but when we talk about politics and sports, this is how like these assignments go. And so in this case, it would be the Canadian Olympic Committee that has to choose where these spots go. And we don't even know how much spots Canada gets yet. Canada's in a pretty good position for sled sports, like in general, like pretty solid, not surprised. Hello, like ice country. Hello, North. But overall, yeah, no, it's going to be very, very interesting with who they go with. But I will say this. There's this one story that I have been following since September, I believe, or even August. And her name is Hallie Clarke, okay? Now, Hallie Clarke, she is a skeleton athlete. And our youth behind the scenes, who's also named Haley, she's smiling because she's like, is this plot about me? No, it's not you, Haley. It's a different Haley. Yeah, I wish. No, so Hallie Clarke is currently 21 years old. She is actually born in Belleville, Ontario, and she is very much a skeleton Olympic hopeful. Okay, she's in a great position. And if you're wondering, by the way, what even is skeleton? Can you explain that real quick, Sav? Yeah, let me do a quick breakdown. Basically, skeleton is that sport where you are on a sled head first, going down a mountain, going somewhere over 87 kilometers an hour. It's one of the most dangerous sports in the entire Olympic Games. Like, people have like crashed and have been seriously injured in this sport before. So that's skeleton. Okay, now here we have this 21-year-old Olympic hopeful, and let's get into her story because she's currently ranked 12th in IBSF World Ranking. Once again, this is as of January 5th. The final like allocated spots per country will be determined January 18th. So that's when we're going to find out who Canada will select for these positions as well. So Hallie, she started with Team Canada, then decided to switch teams and go to Team USA, and now she's back with Team Canada. So there's a crazy lore here that has really caught my attention. And let's just give some context to the story. So her family background and her history and all that. Okay, right? She was a multi-sport athlete with a very athletic family, okay? Her mom was a high-level figure skater, and now she's even a power skating instructor, and she's one of the best, apparently. Her dad played NCAA hockey and was a Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick. So this girl comes from greatness. Like she said, like ice in my veins. Like I know this, I'm around this. Like this is me. So she has lived, so once again, born in Belleville, Ontario, but she has actually lived in Buffalo, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, and also Calgary. Yeah, Calgary. Now, this story stands out to me because you know how like when we all are like, I just need a sign of what to do with my life, and you're talking to like God or the universe and all that stuff. Well, Hallie literally got a sign of what she had to do with her life at the age of 14 when she was in Calgary. Okay, she was skating in like an ice rink locally, and once again, mom is a skating instructor, and she was just skating around, and there was literally a sign that said, "Learn to push." And she goes, oh? Like, that's the most Canadian thing that, like, I could hear because it must have had some sort of visual. She didn't describe what it actually, like, looked like, but it definitely kind of alluded to a sled sport. And she ended up following that sign, literally, and got onto a sled head first, okay? So her first time down, like, the hill, I want to call it a mountain, really, but the steep hill, once again, most dangerous sport. Keep that in mind. Her first time down, her mom's there, all excited, you know, at the bottom, waiting for her daughter to come down, her first skeleton ride, like her first skeleton event. And her daughter's, keep in mind, 14 years old. What her mom sees next is something that no parent ever wants to see. And that is the fact that she waits at the bottom of the hill. You know, she knows her daughter's at the top, coming down. She's waiting. Oh, she sees the sled, but she doesn't see her daughter. So that means something happened during that entire sled ride. And sled comes down, no Hallie. She's like, oh my God, I wouldn't wish that feeling on any parent or anybody, I guess, in my life. Like, imagine that. Imagine like you are trusting your daughter with like one of the most dangerous sports, ever. And she gives it a try for the first time. And the first time she goes on, you don't even see her at the bottom. So it turns out that, yeah, she crashed. She fell off the sled. And yeah, no Hallie. Does Hallie say, you know what? This has been fun. I'm good at other sports. You know, maybe I'll take my talent South Beach. No. She says, I'll get back on. She ended up getting back on the sled and trying skeleton a couple more times that same night, like mustered up the courage, and she has never gotten off of that sled since. Like, whew, girl, you were built different because that could never be me, okay? I love myself a warm gym, first of all, and basketball where I can initiate the physical contact if I want contact like that. And yeah, no, I'm not risking my life over a sport like that, but good for you. Good for you. Could never be me. She is, get this. This is where it gets really crazy. So since she started competing at like the age of 14, she's the first athlete to hold both the senior and junior world championship titles at the same damn time. She's the youngest athlete to ever win the senior world championships when she slid to the top of the podium in 2024. She won the junior world championship crown back in last year, technically January 2025. And so her subtle flex in all of this was when she said, and I quote, direct, "One of my goals in the sports was always to be a world champion. And it came a lot sooner than I thought." I'm sorry. Who is this diva? Who is this queen? Like, she's like, yeah, I just like wanted to be a world champion. And like, it just came sooner than I thought. Like, come on, be so for real. I clocked you. Like, good for you. Don't worry, I'm obsessed. Like, I'm actually obsessed when you risk your life over something like this. Now let's go into the drama, the tea, the lore. Okay, here. This is insane. So she quickly, think about this. Okay. People saw her kind of develop very soon in Calgary in this sport. And, you know, they gave Team Canada the call being like, hey, yo, you got to check this girl out, right? She's like pretty good at skeleton. And Team Canada goes like, fam, say less. Say less. We are there. Okay. Boom. She hops on. She's immediately put on Team Canada. Okay. So she's young. She's on Team Canada. She actually ends up being an alternate at the Beijing Olympics in 2022. Okay. Keep in mind, she is still, what is she? Only 21 now. So 2022, she would have been like a teenager. Yeah. She's like 19 or something like that. They said, you're an alternate, but hold up, wait a minute. Do not get on that plane. We'll call you when we need you. So she never actually set like foot in Beijing. She just like was like, okay, sounds good. All right, I'll be over here. You know, so they had their other athletes compete at the time. She ended up moving to compete, I should say. She ended up moving to compete to Team USA. Now, why did she do that? Well, and I pulled from an article. When fellow sledding athletes began to call out Bobsled Canada Skeleton, BCS, for the mistreatment of athletes, Clarke decided to switch allegiances to a more stable environment with Team USA. Now, this is where I clocked this last night, guys. When I was doing my research, I was up way too late. And by the way, my body's still on holiday hours. I literally can't sleep until almost 5 a.m. Like, it's actually gotten so much bad. Like, on a good night, I sleep at like 3 a.m. Last time, I'm like going to bed at like 5. And I need to like fix that because here we are waking up at like 8 a.m. Something's up with BCS because Hallie is not the first Canadian athlete to leave Team Canada to go to the States to compete for their sport in a sled sport. Okay, where does this sound familiar? Do you guys remember the name Kaylee Humphries? Yeah, she also left back in 2019 to go compete for Team USA in bobsleigh because she had serious complaints about athlete safety. So Hallie also left a couple years later. Like, it sounds like nothing really changed. And I don't want to speculate because I don't know the ins and the outs and the details of nothing, but it sounds like there was some internal issues with BCS. So in order to compete for Team USA, you have to get American citizenship. So that's exactly what she tried to do. She was already living in the States for like 13 years. Once again, like, she lived in Buffalo, she lived in Boston, basically. Like, she's lived everywhere. And so she was in the process of getting her citizenship so that she can compete for the 2026 Olympics. Now, why did she return back to Team Canada? Because you would think that, like, you know, she's committed to this, she's serious, she's not trying to be back here. Well, BCS got a facelift, okay? They said, goodbye. We're losing too many athletes to the States now. This is embarrassing. So they overhauled their staff. And they named Hallie's longtime personal coach, Joe Cecchini, as its sled head coach. Sorry, as a skeleton head coach, I should say. And with that added comfort level, and she was still very early in that American citizenship process, she actually came back to Team Canada ahead of the 2023-2024 campaign. So she was like, you know what, like, don't get me wrong, like, this is fun and all, but like, I think that, you know, my childhood coach, that's now the head coach for skeleton in my event, is back with Team Canada. They made a lot of changes. I'm gonna come back. listen, I'm the great return, okay? It's just like when LeBron left from Cleveland to Miami and came back to Canada. No, to Cleveland, I guess, but in this case, Canada. And so that's where we are at right now. And she is very much an Olympic hopeful. I would have a really hard time believing that she wouldn't secure a position to be at the Olympics. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting the chance to interview her when that comes. Now, there's a couple other names that we should really get into. And I'll say this for maybe when Ashley's back to kind of dive more into, because we do have some qualifications kind of in the process or almost right there at the cusp. It has to be official, but Elizabeth Hoskin is somebody that you'll definitely be seeing at the Olympics in 2026 for half pipe snowboarding. So she just won gold at the World Cup in Calgary. She has her own lore. She actually and that's for snowboarding, I should say, yeah, half pipe snowboarding in this case. She had a really bad concussion, but she has been to the Olympics several times. Like she's like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Like, this is what I do. Okay. She's had several injuries throughout her career. She had a 6th place finish, I believe, at Beijing, I want to say. And so she is hungry for a gold or a medal. And so that's who I'm also watching for the podium. But we'll get more into Elizabeth's story probably closer to the Olympics. Another big story that broke out this past week that's quite literally making history and breaking barriers is the fact that for the first time ever, there will be a Black female athlete competing for Team USA hockey at the Olympics. This is insane for Team USA. Her name is Layla Edwards, and she is a rock star, quite frankly. Like, I did a ton of research on her last night, and she wrote this article basically for her own school newspaper about what it's like to be, the first and the only, because even before she made the Olympic team, she was already competing for like Team USA, like on the national team. And so she was the only Black athlete on that team. And she really talked about what it was like to like even grow up being the only woman competing in hockey, because she had to grow up playing with boys because they didn't have a girls' youth program. And so she goes into her story about that. And then she goes into her story about what it's like to now be a Black athlete in these predominantly white spaces, as we all know hockey is. And so she even gets like really specific in terms of like, how when she went to an all-girls boarding school competing in hockey, when she had female teammates for like the first time in her life, they were all talking about like their makeup routines and comparing makeup notes, but like everything they're saying did not apply to her because, she's Black. That's not even her skin tone. She can't even relate. And she, once again, like grew up playing against guys. Like that's just not like what she knows. And so she felt kind of isolated. And once again, I would highly recommend finding that article. You can find it on the University of Wisconsin website. And yeah, a couple of lines that really stood out to me in the essay was, for everything I've given to hockey, I was still waiting for hockey to give back to me. Like, that one really got my heart because it's tough being the only in a space. She goes on to talk about her experience playing, not really playing for any girls team because, there's only boys teams around, and trying to find ways to blend in. And not to be cheesy, and it's the new year, so, whatever. If I have to buzz myself for the cheesiness, I guess, like, fine. But one quote that, like, has always stood out to me because I deeply, deeply relate to her being a Black woman, a biracial Black woman in a predominantly white male industry in sports in Canada, is why fit in when you were born to stand out? Like, it's cheesy, it is true, but like, honestly, you are not necessarily always, you're not welcomed into certain rooms, and the rooms are not built for you. And when you are welcomed into certain rooms, sometimes it's more of a convenience pick or we just need to check this box pick, or optically we need to look like this in a way. And by all means, like, and this is something that she actually talks about in her essay that she's afraid of. She is afraid that her identity as a Black woman will precede her talent and her ability. And I 100% relate to that. Like, it's almost like when you are the first, when you are the only, when you are a trailblazer, They see you as that instead of just an insanely talented individual that has hard work ethic. She talks about waking up at 5 a.m. to go to practice and dedicating her entire life's work to this sport. And she ends on a high note in this essay. And she says, for me, it's always been hockey, but now I understand that it's never just been hockey. And she talks about basically like knowing that there's more to the game or more to herself than just the game itself. And it's funny because like people always say ball is life, ball is life. And like, don't get me wrong, like it very much is. But I always tell like athletes that, you know, like that come to me, hey, Sav, how did you make that transition from being a collegiate athlete to getting into your career? And like, listen, an athlete dies twice, right? Like your identity as an athlete stops when you get critically injured or when you eventually just retire. And you don't know when that day is going to come per se. And so it's so important to build an identity outside of your sport. That's why I like to challenge the ball is life narrative with actually ball is not life. Like there's life outside of your sport. And your sport can be very much a piece of your identity, but it's not the only thing that holds your identity together. And unfortunately for some athletes, they try to like make it so like, no, that is my, no, you're allowed to have hobbies. You are allowed to like, you know, do other things and like explore other like interests, you know, get into new paths, new fields. Like you, in fact, leverage new fields and new paths while you're still an athlete. And so I'm so happy to see that like Layla has this in perspective already. And she also kind of says, while I'm grateful to be where I am today, I never anticipated being a role model. I was always searching for one myself, someone who resembled me and had similar aspirations. So Layla, I mean, I hope this reaches you somehow, some way, but girl, we feel you. I feel you. It's a long, hard road. People will look up to you. But just keep going, girl. Just keep going because you are impacting millions and millions of people, because not just with like, you know, other girls that look like you, but with other people who don't look like you, but are getting used to the concept of seeing you in the room so that they're more willing to open that door for somebody else who does look like you. You see what I mean? So anyways, with that said, Ashley Docking has more on her. So we're going to hand it off to Ashley.
Finally, the biggest hockey news of the week has nothing to do with heated rivalry. Layla Edwards, come to the front of the class, please. Layla Edwards was named to Team USA Hockey's Olympic roster for Milan-Cortina 2026, which is in just over a month. And she will be the first and only Black woman to represent the United States in hockey. First and foremost, this accomplishment needs to be celebrated because between the politics, the cost, the limited access to ice time, and what is a traditionally white discipline that is gatekept, for Layla Edwards to achieve this level of success this early in her career as a Black woman, I know she had to work her ass off. Not only is Layla a role model for young Black athletes who want to pursue hockey, she's also going out there embodying these women. But her lore starts back in 2023 when she became the first Black woman to be named to a US women's national team. And boy, did she make it count. She had a hat trick in the semifinals and she was named MVP in the 2024 IBSF World Championships. Then in 2025, the now two-time NCAA D1 champion was asked, hey, I know that you thrive as a forward, but to help with team depth, do you mind moving to defense, where she will remain for the Olympics? Speaking on her accomplishments, Layla Edwards said, achieving all that just made me want more. The mentality, she's got that dog in her. But as always, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And in this era of women's sports empowerment, we've been hearing from more and more trailblazers about what their experience being the first and often the only has entailed. She said, success is important too, because I think representation matters. For folks to see someone at the level is one thing, but then to also see them succeed at that level is another step greater. Here's the thing I really love about Layla is that she seems to not subscribe to ceiling. She's a former figure skater turned hockey player who said she used to watch Alexander Ovechkin a ton when she was growing up. And in her mind, her goal was to make the NHL. There really wasn't anything else to aspire to. But now that the PW is available, why would I watch men's hockey? What was the reason? However, in the year of our Lord Jesus H. Christ 2026, how is she the first? This seems Actually quite on brand for hockey, matter of fact. So who, if anyone, came before Edwards? And the answer is Canadian Sarah Nurse. In 2018 at the Pyeongchang Olympics, Nurse became the first Black woman to participate in the Olympics in the ice hockey discipline. Now that's 20 years after the sport initially debuted in 1998. She won silver in 2018 with Team Canada. Then she became the first Black woman to get an ice hockey gold medal in 2022 in Beijing. Oh, and by the way, while she was on her way to a 2022 gold medal, she set a record for most points in an Olympic tournament with 18. Are we still da-da-da? Cause da-da-da. But from a Canadian hockey landscape, before Sarah Nurse, there was Angela James, and I cannot have a conversation about Black women in hockey without bringing up James, widely regarded as the Wayne Gretzky of women's hockey. And here's the drama. In 1998, when women's ice hockey was named an Olympic sport, James was snubbed from the roster. You know what? Also, on brand. This is somebody who was the leading scorer in the last 4 world championships. And all of her work has contributed to women's ice hockey being included in the Olympics. And you're not going to put her on the roster? You're going to roll out some narrative that she's washed, even though she went on to be the MVP the following year in the newly minted WHL, 38 goals in 31 games. The narrative at the time was James was not a team player. I know her personally. It's something I find very, very hard to believe. But, you know, sports be politicking, and hockey certainly be politicking when it comes to Black faces in a predominantly white game. The biggest thing here is visibility, people. It matters. Visibility matters. Listen, early returns on the PWHL effect from fans in 2025 say that the fan base is more diverse than the NHL's. 8% identify as Black, 5% as Indigenous, and 5% as Latin American. However, there are only 4 Black women who play in the PW this season, less than 3%, which means access, encouragement, visibility are astoundingly important. And that's exactly why this Edwards news was so widely reported on. It's a big deal. Edwards wrote an essay, and in it she said, "Even with my accomplishments, I sometimes worry that my identity might overshadow everything else. Will others see the sacrifices and dedication that got me here?" she wrote. "Will they understand the discipline or the courage required to leave my loved ones to pursue my passion?" But says, "It gives me so much motivation to keep going, even if things aren't going great in certain areas. It's a big deal to me, and I don't take it lightly." It's always go Team Canada, go. But in this instance, it's Layla Edwards. Do your thing. We're all rooting for you.
I want to ask you guys, you know, our listeners, our audience, people who are watching on social, if you were to choose to compete in a winter sport, which one would it be and why? Let us know in the comment section. I'm very curious as to know what you're thinking of what it could be. Would you kind of choose a more niche sport like, you know, a luge, for example? Or would you choose like, you know, I want to be a hockey player. I'm all about that. Like, or a figure skater. I know for me, I used to want to be like an ice princess. Like I was obsessed with that movie. I really want to get into figure skating before basketball. That my mom pretty much crushed my dreams. I love you, Mom. By saying that you will be too tall for figure skating. And she was right. I'm way too tall. Ain't no man gonna lift me above his shoulders unless he is like 7 foot himself. So shout out. She was looking out for me. It was tough love. But with that said, okay, guys, I'm gonna hard turn here because this is a cool opportunity with the new year here to kind of like give some love, some credit to some of the people who make this happen behind the scenes. For this next little part that we're gonna do here today, we're gonna play a game because Cinderella Stories, we are very much a family, and families, well, they feud, they fight. So with that said, I'm going to bring our youths that you guys have not probably met. Well, you guys know probably more about Nadine, but one of our other youths, Hallie, that you hear us talking about all the time on the side. So with that said, come on up, girls. Let's get the girlies in here. Let's go. Hey. So you guys are probably already familiar with Nadine. She's been with us since day one. She has done a little bit of everything for us behind the scenes, like talking graphics, social. What haven't you done? Like she does long form edit primarily now, ever since we brought on Hallie, making her debut on air with Cinderella Stories. Hallie does all of our social content now, basically with She kind of tag teams with Ashley on that. So hey, if you guys like our IG, like especially more recent stuff since November, like that's been Haley. So shout out. Okay, so as I said, families feud, and at Cinderella Stories, we are a good family. I'm gonna say we're dysfunctional. We're not dysfunctional. We're pretty functional, actually. We're quite efficient. So I have a game, and I'm gonna explain it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get competitive because you guys are both competitors, and I also like want you guys to like just go all in on this one. Okay, don't hold back.
Okay.
No holding back.
Okay.
So step one. Okay, we're gonna face off. Okay. So basically, before each round, I'm gonna ask a question tied to the topic that we're about to get into.
Mm-hmm.
The second that you think you know it, you can hit the buzzer. Even if I'm still saying the question, you can hit the buzzer.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to clarify these rules because these girls are so competitive. They're going at each other's throats right now. Okay. Whoever buzzes first gets to answer. If you're right, then you win control of that round. Okay. So you get the first guess of the main game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wrong, the other person gets the answer, and then we go on. If you guys both flop, then you're fired.
Okay.
Just kidding. We pretend it doesn't happen. And then step two. So basically, after we're past like that quick trivia, whoever wins out of that, we will go into the family feud part, which is basically I have a secret list of 5 answers written down for each round. Okay. Your job is to guess what is on the list. You each get 3 guesses, and the answers, I have them so that they are they have different point values.
Okay.
So some more niche ones will be higher than the basic ones.
Okay.
You guys take your turns, like guessing one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
No cutting each other off. No stringing multiple answers together at the same time. Being like, I think it's this, and this. Like, no. Just one answer, clean, okay?
Okay.
And yeah, so there's points attached, as I said. And okay. So the only rules is that, and you can't repeat another answer that has been said. And if you got to keep it quick, because if you take too long, I am calling time and the next person proceeds.
Okay.
We're playing 3 rounds. Person with the most points total wins at the end. Okay?
Okay.
We'll total the points at the end. Okay. All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. What are the full team names of the 2 WNBA expansion teams that are debuting this year?
Toronto Tempo and
3, 2, 1.
Vancouver something?
Nope.
No.
Portland. No.
You guys, wow, guys. Wow. Portland.
What is the Portland?
Wow, okay. You guys both fired immediately.
And
that was Cinderella Stories. Thanks for watching. No. Okay. It's Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire.
Fire.
Bro,
I was thinking sun.
I was thinking
Blaze.
Blazers. Okay, no. Okay. Well, you are going to a Toronto Tempo home opener. What are you bringing?
Oh, my best friend, my best girlfriend.
Yep, that's an answer. 3, 2.
Wearing my Toronto Tempo merch, maybe?
That's an answer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Bringing to the stadium or getting in the stadium.
What are you bringing to the game?
I am bringing my phone to take 1 trillion photos.
Yep, that's an answer. All right.
Bringing signage for...
That's an answer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're bringing a sign.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm bringing my best dance moves.
Okay.
Is that an X?
That's not on the list, but I like where you were thinking. Okay.
So confident.
I love it. And now here's what I didn't say off the top. I have a bonus answer that is unhinged. That if you get it, it's worth 10 points. And you get
Whoa.
1 chance each. Like, and I need you to think really outside the box.
Really unhinged.
Yeah, really unhinged.
Bringing in, like, you're not getting it there. You're bringing it in.
You have to bring it in.
Okay.
A dildo?
That's crazy.
Oh, wait, that's a great answer.
That's crazy. No, you are kicked out of the arena. You are banned. Do not bring her into Coca-Cola Coliseum.
I was thinking about the green.
Yes, I know the green, the mean green.
Yeah.
Oh my, no. You, Haley.
That's such a good answer.
That's such a flag. It is unhinged though. I like where your head's at, but
Unhinged.
no.
Unhinged, I'm bringing someone who bought my ticket.
That's not unhinged. Who's like a daddy or something like that? Who bought your ticket, girl? Okay, so nobody got that. I'm leaving that blank. So my unhinged answer for that, which is kind of funny. I grew up in music. I grew up playing the piano, a metronome, because it's the Toronto tempo.
Oh.
Which is not a green dildo and not a daddy. So maybe we turn it back a little bit. It's unhinged, but makes sense still. Within reason. Okay, anyways. All right, okay, question 2. If you guys don't get this, I'll be so disappointed.
I'm so scared.
I'm
I'm
so
so bad at
disappointed in
trivia.
you.
I'm so bad.
What is the name of the viral hockey romance show on Crave?
Oh my.
Heated rivalry.
There you go. Okay, so Nadine gets control of this round. Okay, the prompt is, at a hockey game, what gets the crowd riled up the most?
The two opponents, like the two players from opposite teams, start fighting.
That's good, but that's too obvious, so I didn't have that on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go.
I would say like a big tripping call, major penalty.
No.
Are we being too broad?
I can't. Yeah, be more specific.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll let those two slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a merch giveaway, like when they throw like the jerseys and stuff.
No.
No?
It has to be more game specific.
Someone scores a goal.
Okay.
Your favorite player scores a goal. Too broad.
This is like riled up, like
Okay.
heated, like
Okay.
like
The fighting is a part of it, just not a fight.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that's cheering. That's like what gets the crowd cheering. Like what gets the crowd like going,
Okay.
like blood boiling.
Okay.
Someone gets a concussion.
Oh my gosh, does that get you going, girl?
I don't watch hockey, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh, no concussion.
Someone getting slammed into the boards.
That doesn't get the people. Okay, everyone gets slammed to the boards all the time. You guys, wow, guys, come on. I need you guys to think deeper. Think what?
How do I know?
It's like, but don't overthink. Okay, wow. Okay. Oh my god, this is not.
The music.
Okay, you know what's funny?
The DJ.
Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, that is a hint for the unhinged answer.
Oh.
That's a hint. That's a hint.
Okay.
But I'm not giving that to you. Okay, give you one more guess each, and then I'm done with this round. Because you guys are like sucking right now, bombing this, failing,
Something in the game that's gonna get everyone
riled up.
That's not a goal.
No,
And that's not a fight.
no.
Trying to think what I like.
There's a lot of things in hockey, guys.
Riled up as in like it's not something that doesn't normally happen?
It happens. Like it will happen in a game.
Okay. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know. A goalie fight.
No, I had no idea.
I can't.
It's too obvious.
I just watch hockey for the fights, I feel like.
Last one.
A team's on a power play and they don't score a goal.
Close, but no. Okay, guys. Wow. Okay. You guys suck.
We gotta go to more hockey.
Sudden death overtime.
Oh.
Okay. A bad ref call. Like
That's a good one.
that
Refy
was
suck. Refy suck.
shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Empty net miss.
Oh, okay.
That was more specific.
Okay,
that was like 4 points.
that's where I was going with my guess, but I forgot.
That's why I was like, I can't give that to you.
Yeah, never mind.
Pulling the goalie.
Okay.
Pulling the goalie.
Yeah. So like
Get an extra man.
to get an extra man.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay.
Guys, come
See,
on.
I was thinking like
It's not that. I swear this is okay. All right, let's go straight to the hopefully one of you guys can get the unhinged answer. The biggest hint was I gave it to you guys. It's music related. So whose turn is it next? I've lost track. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. 'cause
Unhinged dancer, which
Yeah.
had to do with the DJ. Like a dance cam or a lip sync cam.
No, it has to do with music specifically. 3, 2.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say kiss cam. I don't
No.
know.
Wow.
bad at
Oh my
this.
gosh. God.
No. Hockey's
And that's
clearly
the last
not our
time that they ever
thing.
saw airtime on Cinderella Stories. No. Woo. All right. No. It's a song. It would be a song that's either the good old hockey game,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Hockey Night in Canada theme song, or any heated rivalry song. That's the unhinged answer, guys. This is
Drop
going
the ball.
viral on TikTok
the
right
ball,
now,
drop the
okay?
ball.
Oh my God,
So
okay.
funny.
All right, hopefully this one actually, this next question should be, okay, we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Round 3, ding, 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 ding. Okay. What was the name of the movie that starred Zendaya as an upcoming tennis star turned?
Challengers. If I didn't know this, I would be disappointed in myself.
Yeah, why? Because,
Because I'm a very big tennis fan.
yeah, there you go.
And-
She cooks
yeah.
in
Shoot.
tennis. Yeah. Okay. Here's the prompt for this one, okay? Okay. So
Wait, is this about tennis?
you're a tennis player at the
Oh
US
my
Open.
God.
Okay, bet.
I'm so cooked. I'm so
What
cooked.
are you bringing or wearing to the match? Go first. Get
US
your-
Open, not Wimbledon. Okay. What am I wearing to the match?
2.
A tennis
One.
dress.
I don't have a tennis dress on there, but you're in the realm. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm wearing, like
Yeah, it's
at
just
the match?
Yeah, bringing or wearing. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm playing.
And you're playing.
I'm wearing a cute Nike black
This is really specific.
Nike black tennis set, little skirt, and a tank top.
Okay, like that's like the same answer. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, think broader. Even think broader. Yes,
Okay.
I have one outfit. Give you a hint. One outfit call out in here, but the rest are not technically outfits. So, Nini, your turn.
Okay, maybe okay, this is like probably not wearing, but Swarovski like encrusted labubu. Like what Naomi Osaka
That
did.
That's a good
is
answer.
the unhinged answer.
No way.
10 points already. That was the unhinged answer. A labubu. Okay. So you got to really cook in this one. Next one. Yeah.
I have
okay.
to.
Ready? Like, okay, what are you bringing to the tennis match?
I'm going to bring like a cute bag, like the cutest tennis bag you've ever seen.
That's cute, but I don't have a tennis bag on there per se. You guys are like,
I
okay.
am so bad at
You guys, okay.
Wait, what am I wearing or bringing?
Wearing
to the
/ bringing. 3,
I'm gonna just say it.
2.
Tennis rackets.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
lowest bottom answer. Okay.
A water bottle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's like basically. I'll give it to you because
Okay.
hydration mix. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, some electrolytes
Okay.
in there.
Last time I'm gonna give this round for you guys. Okay, ready? Last answers, guesses, go.
An umbrella?
No.
Okay. For the sun. But
Oh, I had a really good guess for another unhinged answer, but do you want to hear it?
Okay.
I would bring the Sabalenka trench coat that she walked down in
Oh
front of Battle of the
my
Sexes.
God. Okay.
I'd bring a cute trench coat.
Cute trench coat. I'm bringing a trench coat to the tennis match. Okay, what's your normal answer?
My normal answer, I would bring a really fancy little towel for sweat.
A fancy little towel. Okay, no. All right. Okay, so this round's done. The answers, the possibilities was, okay, so you got racket, I had electrolytes, but including water, Gatorade, or hydration mix, a visor or a hat,
Oh, so good.
a skirt,
Oh.
extra overgrips, which is the tennis
Yeah.
racket. Yeah, you know. Mhm. That was the more specific one. Guys, come on now. But honestly, you got the labubu one. So like
Yeah,
that was the
extremely
unhinged
impressive.
answer, which I'm like, damn,
Extremely
she got it
impressive.
already.
Wait, I gotta think about summer again. What happened in the summer? I was like, wait, the little boo-boo.
The little
And you were in there. You weren't with us.
Yeah. You wouldn't have wanted to hear my opinion. I hate those things.
Me too.
I
can't stand them.
I think they look a little like demons, man.
Why? Why would I want one?
Why
Don't
would
get
I-
it. Looks like a Happy Meal toy. We're spending a ridiculous
And I get the
amount.
hype. I get it. Like it's like the modern Beanie Baby. It's like,
Beanie Babies were so much cooler.
but they're cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah, not like with this like evil teethy grin.
No, they're like Webkins, Beanie Babies.
Yes, I
La
forgot
Boo Boo. The
yeah,
fall off
yo,
is crazy.
That's crazy. There's so much money too. It's crazy. Mine was like not to. I'm going to date myself, but Neopets. Oh my god, I love. You can't tell me nothing. I had like exclusive Neopets on my account, like that you
Oh.
couldn't even get normally. Like I had like something called a Psy Bunny. Like
Yeah.
our older listeners will like appreciate this, and like you can't get a Psy Bunny just anywhere. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyways, and I was like, they gave out Neopet plushies from McDonald's like back when I was in grade 3 or something, and now every
Oh.
kid in like on the like the playground was like trading. Like, I'll give
Yeah.
you my lupus if you give me your uni. I made that deal, and so I got exactly what I wanted. But yeah, no, I was crazy. That was my experience with like plushy toys back then. But yeah, okay, well, you guys absolutely suck. Wait, no, I don't know who won. Like, I gotta see.
I think the Labubu.
yeah.
There's no way I got 2
There's
points.
no way. There's no
period.
coming back. Ain't no coming back. I'm like, well, you got like 3 points, 2 points, 1 point was at like 5, 6. Ding, ding, ding. Nadine
Yay.
is the winner for the Family Feud Cinderella Stories edition. What do you gotta say for yourself? Walk off interview.
That's it.
Just nothing. Just drop mic.
Yeah.
Just wow. All right. Speechless. She is speechless. Okay. She's still in awe of her win. Haley, better luck next time.
Thanks.
Thank you. But yeah, anything you guys want to share, just even being on air for the first time on Cinderella Stories, Haley, or
I love this podcast so much, and I can't wait for 2026 and more stuff.
Let's do it. Let's go. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to Cinderella Stories Pod. A lot more, I guess, fun stories and events that we'll be having coming up in 2026. I think we're going to get into some live streams. Stay tuned for that. Let us know your thoughts of this episode in the comments. And once again, what winter sport would you participate in if you could? Let me know. All right. Take care, guys. See you next week.